more or less packed. 3 minutes to 8. We've been up for a good hour, 2 hours. Just take it easy, feed dogs, have my food, have my coffee, and just change inside. It's snowing outside. I wouldn't say blizzard conditions, that's not fair, but at times it's sleeting and kind of mixed between sleet and snow that much that visibility is really bad. So I have to see if I need my goggles. Thankfully it's only a couple of miles to the main track that leads from Glenativ to Bridge of Orchy. So just take it safe. Ground is hard. Temperature plummeted at 4 o'clock in the morning. Put like this, I was sleeping or trying to sleep with no woolly hat on. Through the night I was warm, I was nice. Then come back 4 o'clock, temperature dropped and I had to put my hat on and I had to snuggle in my sleeping bag, make sure dogs were covered and everything. They've got yellow jackets, they are damp at the moment, but it's giving them some warmth, and I can't afford to let them get their good gear wet because I need that in the next couple of days at the hut. You can probably see the sleet on the water bottle that was outside. That's melting now and here, and you probably can hear it anyway. Lie down, Rogue. I want them all to snuggle together because they keep themselves warm. Lie down. Actually, don't want to go with them. Typical. But dogs all generate their own heat, and together they'll keep each other warm. The hardest bit is going to be breaking tent down in these winds because they do go through gusts. So I've got to kind of try a little lull, get the poles out down and keep it pegged and slowly roll it up and just bung it in the bag at the bottom of the bag and Bob's your uncle. Sounds easy, doesn't it? I'll try and show you what it's like out. Stay there, you. Don't know if it's got better or worse. Oh yeah. It's not too bad, but visibility's coming down. It's not as sleet in the snow as much, but you can see we've got quite a good dollop of it on the ground, but it's so fine. I don't know if you can see it drop on the ground, it's very thin stuff. But temperature is really bad. But don't panic. Get your food in, get your hot drink, feed the dogs, pack your gear nice and steady, and life is much easier now. But tent has been good. Lie down, Rogue. Lie down. She wants to start going, I think. Tent's proven its worth in these conditions. So normally you don't get these conditions, do you? I would say the winds were hitting 50 mile an hour during the night. 45, 50 easy. And don't forget we're in this little sheltered spot. The winds were coming from the north through the night, but they've changed, I believe, from the east again. So it was kind of swapping from the north to the east. No issues with the tent. We were fine. It is a warm tent, so it's nice in the winter. So I'm sure a lot of people will like it. A couple little niggles, I'll go into them another day, but nothing major. Nothing for anyone to worry about. But right, finish my coffee, pack the last bits, and then get the tent down, and I'll probably see you when we're on the road. Wish me luck. As always, leave no trace, just some snow and freezing ends. Woo! 8:42, lovely. Visibility ain't too bad now. I can actually see the other side. So we're setting off. That's it. We've done our bit. Well, we're on Stalker's gotta follow that up now. Woo! Weed is wild. Crazy. Near the track now. That leads to Bridge of Orchy. Boy, coming across there. One is boggy, as it was yesterday, but the winds are so strong, they were blowing me over nearly, and I don't exaggerate that, they were literally pushing me off the track, and I've got a 50 odd pound pack because the tent is soaking, so any weight I've lost I've gained, and I'm not exactly a lightweight myself, and it was just blowing us straight off. So you're trying to dodge the mud, all the sludge and all that, and next minute you've been blown off the track. Hard work, but I'm taking it slow. I don't want to sweat and I don't want to get too hot. So the aim is to go in stages and cool down, keep going. Right, Stella, lever. No, stop eating the wild. Woo! Took us an hour to get to the hut from the valleys. Stay there, you lot. Stay. In. I'm trying to give you a rest for a bit. Using the hut for a minute just to get a breather, cool down. She soon start getting too warm. It doesn't look far, does it? But coming from just at the base of them valleys, all the way round and up. That's hard work. The winds are hitting us straight on. They're easterlies again. So change overnight. In, you three, come on, in. Go. I'm trying to look after them. Out of the wind for a few minutes. So yeah, just pacing the sails. Just add some fluid. I was going to take a measurement of the wind, but the monitor's tucked away in some gear, so it ain't worth rooting for it. But I'm telling you, they're 50 plus coming across the top. I'll give that one now. The open areas over there got to be hitting nearly 70 miles an hour. They weren't just moving me, they were moving me in the pack, and they weren't just moving us a little bit. I mean, they're actually shifting me sideways. So God knows what it would be like up higher up. And as I say, then everything becomes harder because you're watching your footing because of all the marsh and bogs and holes and all that. But you're going to take a step, but next minute the wind's blowing you sideways, so you're missing your step where you wanted to put your foot. So it's quite comical at times because you're walking around like a drunk. But yeah, going back to the tent. Tent's brilliant. I'm well impressed with the tent. I mean, to take them conditions on its first outing, and I don't know if I really set it up perfect, you know what I mean? And the winds from 10 o'clock last night just got stronger and stronger, and then they did ease at times when the snow started coming down. And at first it was like, in you three, in. You're standing out, getting cold, in. Close this door so they can't get out. Stay there, sit. I'm trying to just give them a chill for a few minutes. Oh God. I mean, that guy gets everywhere, doesn't he? I mean, what's going on? I didn't do that now, I did that many years back. Where was I? Yeah, it eased off at times, the wind, but then the sleet and hail came, and then it got worse, and at times I couldn't even see across, you know what I mean? So I knew how bad the visibility was. So the plan of action was, I changed out of all my dry gear. I got a dog's, all the dry gear out of the way and tucked away. I decided I wasn't going to rush. I was going to just take my time, have my brekkie after feeding the dogs, and get some food in, hot drink, and make sure I stuff my bag right rather than doing it panicking. The only hard bit I had is the tent. Tent was covered in snow, sleet and ice, So I tried to shake it. As soon as I shake it, the wind's catching it, innit? So then I put it on the ground. I'm trying to do everything right with the poles, even a couple of little rocks. But every time I went to move, you know, the wind would get it. So I just ruffle it together. It's soaking. So when I get back to the hut, I'll stick it upstairs, lay it out for 24 hours, and that should dry it out a lot, as long as they don't drip through to us. And that's about it. Just taking my time going back because the winds are just, you can hear them. Just crazy, mate. And, you know, it doesn't matter how many weather forecasts you look and research and check. You just never get told this, you know what I mean? The nearest was the Mountain Information Service, but I mean, I left on 3 days ago. So I don't know if it's changed since then. They want to go out. Look at them, idiots. I can't help them. My dogs are mad. So it doesn't matter how much research you do on the weather and all that, unless you can get an updated one more or less on the minute, and there's subscription services with kind of InReach and all that. So I'm not doing all that. You just got to be prepared. If you're prepared, I've got goggles in there if I needed them, but thankfully it all cleared up. I've got even grippers in there because you just don't know what was going to happen. You know, anything could happen, so you're always prepared. So that's about it. Now it's the long slog back to the hut and get a fire going, get these dried off and get some food in us and just laugh about things. I'll certainly I mean, how can it be yesterday like 12, 13 degrees and beautiful? And then today, more or less blizzards. I mean, I know that's a bit over exaggerating, but I mean, you know what I mean? How can we have these snow showers and hail and sleet and terrific winds? And it's Scotland, isn't it? Typical Scotland. All the mountains getting covered out, but you can see how low the snow level came right down, didn't it? Right, enough yapping. These are telling me it's time to go. Took the bridge across. I'm not chancing it on the river. It's amazing how just a little amount of precipitation changes things on these rivers. And I thought, one, I'd either get wet feet and the dogs get soaked, or two, we'd have to turn back. Rogue, stop digging. Why is it every time I talk she's doing something stupid? But as you can tell, it's much calmer down here. A hell of a lot calmer. Just showers. It doesn't look high over there, but it's high. Right. Right. Wind's picking up again down here. Been going 2 hours 11 minutes to do nearly 5 miles. Hard going. Hopefully things will get easier now and firm the ground. Looking forward to a nice warm fire tonight and a swig of whiskey. I think I've earned it. Don't know about you for it. Hey, leave that grass. Again, she's eating grass since I stopped. Stella, you don't want this. Well done. Rebel, you're an idiot. Rogue, no point asking about her, is there? She's crazy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Wow. It's 12:02 now. Got back 11:30. Just under 6 miles. But my God, that was hard work, that first bit. Bagging up and then hiking across that open area. Hard work with them strong winds. It's the conditions. It's just the conditions turn it into a total different game, don't they? Once I got to the hut and had that light rest, that was brilliant. You know what I mean? Just take a shower for 5-10 minutes, gather your thoughts, have a drink, and realise you're on the home straight end. But it's still blowing a hoolie out there now. But again, the winds here are nothing like up there near the valleys. My God. Whew. That caught us out. And what a night. What can I say to that? Didn't see that one coming, did we? Especially with the weather. But typical Scotland, likes to catch you out. Dog's done brilliant. Stella done wonderful again. Tent was great. Pack was brilliant. All the gear I used, mountain equipment, Hotzi jacket, top notch, brilliant. Didn't get too warm. Once, you see, that's for cold weather. And when I was hiking in that, I didn't get too sweaty. As long as you take little breathers, I wasn't getting too sweaty or anything. What else was there? Oh, my sleeping bag. Well, there's not much you can say about that. It's so brilliant. But it all went to plan. Bagging out everything. Nothing got wet. No, everything was brilliant. Tent, as I say, is outstanding for a £234 tent to take them conditions. And don't forget, we were in a hollow there. So it was only when it turned, the wind turned, that it caught us out. But if we were in an exposed area, we would have been hammered even by stronger winds. So, and how the temperature dropped through the night was unbelievable. It dropped like a stone. As I say, about 4 o'clock, up to 4 o'clock, I was warm and cosy, didn't need anything on my head. 4 o'clock come and boom, temperature just plummeted. And then I could hear the snow hitting the tent. I knew it wasn't rain. And to see that in the morning, and I didn't show you earlier, it's not a whiteout, but it was so thick, you know, the sleet and hail or whatever it was coming down, that the visibility was really poor. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to need my goggles at last. But luckily, it didn't. But I've got to get the tent upstairs and unravel that in a bit. So the heat from this lovely, gorgeous fire that started first time, woof. And we've got tons of wood, tons of coal, so we're going to have a nice, cosy 2 more days. I'm just looking at a date. Yeah, it's Wednesday today. I've got tomorrow, and then we're going back Friday, sadly. It just flies by. But again, see what I mean? I had to check my watch to see what day it was, because when you're out here, you lose track of time. You're just enjoying yourself. I'll get their jackets on a bit. I'm just letting the room warm up and dry them off a bit before I put the jackets on them. I don't want them being damp when the jackets are on them. But them two, Rebel and Rogue, have been running like crazy, so they're going to be absolutely tired. And Stella's obviously going to be tired because of her age, so I'm going to have a nice peaceful evening listening to my audiobook and drinking some whiskey, eating chocolate biscuits and dozing in front of my lovely fire. So, yep, sadly, I wanted this morning, I was hoping this morning to wake up to decent weather so we could just do a bit on that northern side of the loch, then come back to the tent, do nothing too crazy, you see, do a bit on the northern side and then come back to the tent, pack up nice and casually and take a nice stroll back like we did yesterday. But no, that didn't happen. Hear the wind? And that's down here. There's a big difference between the Loch Dochard area and down as you come down that track. A very big difference. It must be because it's so open. But look at that fire. Right, I'm going to have my dinner, I'm going to have coffee, and I'll chat to you later. Oh, that's much calmer, isn't it? Trying to see where the wind. Yeah, it's blowing northeasterly, isn't it? Probably more easterly. But this is calm. It just shows that temperature drops, doesn't it? You know, even with a mere little bit of breeze. Anyway, some nice visions of snow-covered mountains. Where we came from, up there. Sorry. Look at that. Three tired doggies. Well, the afternoon it rained, then stopped, then it rained, then it stopped, then it rained. But the wind disappeared. As quick as it came, it disappeared. All I did was eat and sit in front of this lovely fire. It's just glowing. And, oh, it makes you so drowsy, but it's so nice. Oh, I've seen just one person, and that person was on a push bike going along the track up to Loch Dochard. I don't know how he was cycling on that track because it's just a marsh. He's got more skills than me. That's the only person I've seen today. I was chopping some more wood. I don't know if you can see it in the corner there. I didn't want to just use the dry wood. It was just burning too quick. So the damp wood would slow the fire down a bit. So, what have we got in store for tomorrow's weather? I don't know. I do know it's going to be an early night tonight for me. Didn't get much sleep last night, as I say, with the wind. I'm guessing, I don't know, 5 broken hours, if that. So, yours on edge, ain't you? You know when the wind's going, you're keeping an eye on the tent, make sure the dogs are warm. I was going out checking the guy lines, God knows many times. You have to do it. You just have to do it. Tent's upstairs drying out, and so's the poles. And took most of the kit out, and that's dry. Excuse me, I'm so tired. Got to feed the dogs, and then I'm turning in. And we shall see what's going to happen tomorrow, won't we? And look, just like that, it's chaos. I know, I've got my Buffy slippers on. God, I'm looking at the camera and all you can see is dust flying around. No wonder I cough or sneeze sometimes. But anyway, poor Stella's stiff, but she's okay. She'll warm up. I don't blame her in them temps. And to be honest, she's stiff like this at home anyway, even if we did 2 miles. So, oh dear Stella. 14 and you're doing stupid things like that, eh? When are you going to stop? But as you saw today, when I was trying to get them in the hut and shelter and trying to rest them, she's just as bad as the rest, wanting to go out. So when she's moving, she's fine. It's when she's not moving, that's when she stiffens up. So I think she's saying it's dinner time, Dad. I've earned it. Right. I mean, earlier she jumped on there, so she weren't that bad. Thank you, Rogue. Yeah, we got a close up of Rogue's nose. Dogs do well, though. Best hiking companions you can have. I'm not going to deny in the tent at times I was shouting at them because I wanted them not to make the bedding wet or not to wreck my tent. And it's part of the parcel. You know, you can't always be calm. Sometimes you have to shout at them and bark orders. It's the same when they're out. You sometimes try and get them out of the rivers and make sure they don't come to harm. So you have to be stern sometimes. Look at her. She looks so grey on the video. But I only do anything for the best reasons, you know what I mean? To get instant... No fighting. They go, hey, no fighting. That's the main issue. Look, she's going to jump up. She wants to get up. No, she thought about... No, all right. She's probably too stiff to do it tonight. Hey, calm down. Lie down. I don't want no fights. That's the thing, you see. You start fussing them. That's why I don't fuss my dogs too much, because it easily kicks them off to fight. Lie down. Not so much Rebel and her, but definitely the two bitches. Right, I've got to feed these. Look at them. Him and his wonky ear. Do you think that ear is never going to repair, is it? And that happened somewhere here, or from here to home one weekend. Never knew what happened. All I know is that he was all right when he got in the car, and there'd been no, I mean, there's no fights and anything. He got some kind of burst blood vessel in it. And when I let him out the car, when we got home, they both flew out the car. And when I checked in the house, there was a trickle of blood on the radiator. So all I can think is they dived out of the car into the house and he clobbered his ear on the radiator and burst the blood vessel. But he must have hit it hard or at a funny angle. And I tried several times to drain it, and the vet did. We did tape it down, and we did everything because they tape it down flat and hope, but he wouldn't keep the bandage on. Him and Rogue pulled it off. And the only other thing was to split this hair flat and, you know, split it in two, cauterize every blood vessel, and then restitch it, which would take months to heal, you know what I mean? And then hopefully it would dry. It would repair straight, but there was no guarantee. So I didn't want to. I have insurance for my dogs, but it's not the point. It's the point. Do I want to put the dog through the hassle? And lie down, Rebel. And he didn't have any problems with his ear. He wasn't in pain or anything. He looked quite happy. And some people say sometimes they do heal by themselves quite good. They still have a little bend, but they're quite good. But Rebels didn't. I kept massaging it, like they say, keep massage it with some cream to kind of get the circulation going, and hopefully it'll dry better, but it didn't work with Rebel. He must have injured it somewhere further back. Lie down, Rebel, lie down. So it kind of gives him personality. People see him in the road, they think he's cute. They don't realise how powerful he is. So I joke, I say, like, Stella's got a wonky leg, Rebel's got a wonky ear, and Rose's got a wonky brain. Right, I got to feed them. Enough chatting. See you in the morning. Don't know if you can see much. It's been pouring down. Not good. You're not seeing anything. Trust me, it's pouring down out there. Thank God we're not out of that tonight. Right. It's early night for us. That's quite chilly. Right. Back to the bedroom. That's so comfy, you know, with that down mat. And this PhD. Oh, yes, beautiful bed. Absolutely worth every penny. If you can never get your hands on a sleeping bag, get your hands on one of these. I've had Rabs, I've had Alp kits, I've had Marmots, Mac packs, all the old ones, you know, as well as the newer ones. And there's either two problems. They're either very puffy and they're in your bag, in your rucksack, I mean, or backpack. They're just too large, they don't compact enough. And when you get in them, as I say, I thought I'd miss a zip. I don't. I actually prefer not to have a zip now. It's the first time I've ever had a sleeping bag without a zip, and it's much warmer, much cosier. But the heat this gives out, and the coziness it gives out, that's what I would say. If there's a coziness factor, this sleeping bag is a cozy factor. When you're in it, you don't have any cold spots, but you also feel very cozy. It's one of them sleeping bags you don't want to come out. Not because you're over hot. And a couple of times I got warm, all I did is just uncinch the neck and allow some air to get in. And it's for some reason it seems to cool down. Very weird. But as I say, it always works with a good sleeping pad. So, I don't know if you can hear the rain. Don't know which was worse. I'd prefer not to be in the rain. Camped in the rain. Because you know it's going to be very wet in the morning. with your gear. The whole point is always keeping your gear dry. But yeah, we've timed everything right so far, you know what I mean. We had the rest day at the right time when it was raining. We had the day in, hiking in, when it was good. And we had the adventure coming out today, even though it was freezing, it was sleeting, it was messy, it was crazy winds, but we still had fun doing it. But walking in pouring rain is never fun. Right, enough yapping. Look at that, early to bed tonight. I can't remember the last time I went to bed at 8:20, but I'm looking forward to it. Look at these monsters. This is what happens when you run them ragged. Rebel's got his head under the settee. Stella. I've put the blankets on. It's not that cold in here. Might drop during the night once this cloud goes. But they'll throw them off if they get too warm. They've got jackets on as well. So we're all cosy, and I'm going to be cozy in a minute. Right, see you in the morning.